Hey guys, what's going on? It's Andrew from AR Media, and tonight's video I want to review Evil Dead on 4K UHD Blu-ray. I just got this in and gave it a watch, so let's go over the movie briefly. Now this is an all-time favorite of mine as a horror buff, and this is just a great movie overall for those who have not seen it. Now this really does a great job at mixing horror and a little bit of humor. The other entries in the series do go a bit more into the humor aspects. This still has a lot of the horror aspect, and this is actually director Sam Raimi's debut, and you probably know him from the Spider-Man trilogy. So Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, the very loved trilogy, is also Sam Raimi's work, and he is just a master with practical gore effects, and that's really where this movie shines, especially for the budget and the year this was made. This is just an absolute classic, and I'm so happy to see it come to the 4K format looking better than ever. So now let's get to that point. Let's get to the video quality on this. So this is a 4K digital intermediate, and this looks absolutely fantastic. Now, as a huge Evil Dead fan, I was a little worried about this coming to the 4K format for a couple of reasons, and one of them was the grain. This was shot on 16mm film, so I knew that the layer of grain was going to be quite heavy, and I'm pretty happy to say that although you will get some swarming grains at times, I found it to be pretty unobtrusive and a pretty nice thin layer that gives it that nice cinematic look. Now the detail here is a nice increase over the Blu-ray. This is a cinematic look though, and is shot on film, so it's not going to be a razor sharp transfer or anything like that, but you will see a lot more texture inside the cabin, texture on the Necronomicon itself, details on faces, textures on the shirt. The textures are a big increase in this over the Blu-ray. Another thing that's great on this disc is the depth. Separation from the foreground and the background is easily distinguishable, as well as black levels are very good and deep and inky throughout, which is very important in a movie like this because a lot of the scenes take place at night and you want those deep and inky blacks. Now let's get to the Dolby Vision aspect. So we're going to start off with those black levels because one of the main reasons this Dolby Vision shines is the shadow detail. The shadow detail is a lot easier to make out, and there's a lot of dark scenes in this, especially those POV scenes. You will definitely see a lot more detail than you did previously, similar to the way Halloween 4K worked, and that's definitely a great use of Dolby Vision on this disc. Other uses of Dolby Vision are Ash's shirt pops a bit more with those blues. There are a bit more nuances to the color, a bit more pop to the color, but it's a very natural and cinematic transfer, so it's no real eye-popping colors here or anything like that, but the red blood from the gore scenes will definitely pop out on screen and have a little more detail and depth to them than the Blu-ray counterpart. Nothing to complain about on the Dolby Vision front. Now let's get to the audio aspect. So sadly we don't get any immersive audio with this like DTS:X or Dolby Atmos, but I'll be honest, I wasn't really expecting that. I mean, when this movie came out, clearly it did not have anything close to that. So what this does have is the DTS HD mix, and I have nothing to complain about here. Dialogue was crystal clear, the surrounds were used when needed, but not overused, so it didn't sound fabricated or anything like that, and it was a good mix, but it's going to be the same mix you find on the Blu-ray, so no upgrade there, but nothing to complain about. So anyway guys, this is going to be a day one pickup for me for sure. This is an absolute favorite of mine. This looks the best it's ever looked by far on the 4K format, and I think it's really the best it's ever going to look with the source material, with the low budget and the year it came out. But this is definitely a day one purchase, guys. Please use the links in the description if you plan on purchasing this. It really helps out the channel and it makes me able to buy more movies to review for you guys. So anyway guys, let me know what you thought of Evil Dead down below. Let me know what you think of the transfer down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.